Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am Mike. Cheers. Bound for the Promised Land. Numbers 22:1. Then the people of Israel traveled to the plains of Moab and camped east of the Jordan River across from Jericho. A new generation of Israelites head towards Canaan. Miriam, older sister of Moses, is dead. She died at the oasis. Aaron, the older brother, is dead as well. He died shortly after the group started to travel. Moses won't make it to Canaan either. He and Aaron committed some unidentified sin when they called water out of a rock. Actually, what happened was God told them to speak to the rock and water would flow out of it. But out of his anger, he took a staff and smashed the rock. Maybe they took credit for the miracle, or maybe they behaved improperly, perhaps by hitting the rock instead of simply speaking to it as God had instructed. For whatever reason, which it was the fact he smote the rock, we all know that one, God tells them both, because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate my holiness to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I am giving them. And that was said in Numbers 20:12. The shortest route into Canaan is north, but Moses isn't famous for taking short routes. Perhaps God points the Israelites east so they won't worry about the earlier defeat they faced in South Canaan. Moses hopes to travel into what is now Jordan, turn north, and then tell the Israelites to cross the Jordan River into Canaan. But the people of Edom refuse to grant them safe passage. God warns the Israelites not to fight Edom because two nations are related. The Israelites descended from Jacob, and the Edomites came from Jacob's brother Esau. So Moses turns the refugees south on a long bypass around Edom. Then he takes them north to Moab, another ancient country in what is now Jordan. Along the way, several armies attack, but Israelite warriors, led by Joshua, prove unstoppable. And there was, and toward the end of chapter 22, there was, hang on a minute. There was a man named Balaam that they talk about who was called to help out a friend named Balak, Balak. And an angel stands in his way with his sword pointed, but he can't see him. Balaam can't see him, but his donkey can. And the donkey refuses to listen to him and tries to stay clear of the angel with the sword pointed, even crushing Balaam's foot against a wall to try to stop him from hitting her. And then God opens Balaam's eyes. He sees the angel. But before that, he starts yelling at the donkey. We all know the story of the talking donkey. Well, this is the donkey. It was Balaam's donkey that spoke to him, asking, "Why do you keep hitting me?" And here's a side note. The Traveler's Upgrade. traveling first class a century ago, this Bethlehem man, Balaam, rides a donkey down a rocky slope. It beats walking. Centuries earlier, a sorcerer named Balaam traveled hundreds of miles by donkey on a mission to stop an Israelite invasion. Moab's king hired him to put a curse on the invaders. Instead, Balaam blessed them, as an angel told him to do. Balaam's donkey saw the angel first and talked about it. Now, in the Bible, there's actually a lot of really cool things, and this happens to be one of my favorites, is the talking donkey. Could you imagine if, God would open up animals' mouths and let them speak to us as we do one another? That would actually be amazing. Of course, it might get a bit annoying, but it would be really cool too. And on this other side note, God-given women's rights. Before the Israelites arrived in Canaan, Moses set up a system for dividing the land among the 12 tribes. He wanted the tribal boundaries to last, so he told fathers to pass their land inheritance on to their sons. That way the land stayed in the family. If a father would give the land to a daughter and she married into another tribe, the land would become her husband's property and the property of his tribe. The Bible says God didn't want that. What about us? That's the question Moses got from 5 daughters of Zelophehad, a man who had died without a son. In this man's world of Old Testament times, it wasn't customary for Middle Eastern women to inherit property. But Moses took the problem to God. God replied, if a man dies and has no son, then give the inheritance to his daughters. And that'll be in Numbers 27:8. There was just one condition. Let them marry anyone they like, as long as it is within their own ancestral tribe. And that is Numbers 36:6. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. Much love.